Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with three S's. I'm your host here, Francis, with Tamika from Entertainment in Color, here to do the last two episodes of Love Island USA Season 4, Episode 27 and 28, even though Episode 28 is probably what we'll be spending most of the time talking about. Tamika, how are you doing today?
Good. This is my last episode for my vacay.
Lucky you got your hair did, which is perfect to have low maintenance while you are away,
Yes,
which is fun.
yes,
um well, you were worried that you were going to miss the heart rates challenge, so on
right.
episode 28 you got it. So how are you feeling overall for these last two episodes?
Um, I'm still solid with the episodes. I have some concerns, but I was talking to some friends and we had like some theories about what was going to happen tonight, and it absolutely did not happen. So, yeah, I don't know.
Theories of what were these theories?
Like,
Was it
I
for
feel like the guys picked the last time, so shouldn't it have been a girls pick? Which wouldn't they have meant that two guys should have came in the villa
It's because
during the
Kat
heartbreak?
left though.
Uh,
So Kat left, and then Mackenzie came in, but they would have had. Wait, is
girls
that
pick
right?
then. Yes, you're right. Then it would have been girls pick.
Would it have though? No.
No, it still would have been extra girls.
Yeah, it would be an extra girls, so it would have been guys pick. Why
Yeah,
is it? Wait, what? Who? How do you know that the guys picked the last time?
I feel like the guys picked the last time before Casa Amor.
I don't know. They just do too many dumpings and they're not enough recouplings. That's
Mm,
probably what the problem is, that I can't
yeah,
keep track, because it's like, oh, it was just a recoupling. Oh no, it was just a dumping. Oh, was it just a, like, yeah,
yeah,
hard to say. Danielle, no problem. We will be in the comments with you. So definitely make some comments when you're watching and we will definitely respond to that. But I am going to watch Big Brother after, but I didn't even think it was going to be a 2-hour episode, all this stuff. Big
yeah,
Brother doesn't let me know their schedule ahead of time, so can't
yeah.
plan accordingly.
I'm watching it. Well, I'm watching right now, but
I'm going to watch after, obviously.
um,
Hi, Jessica. Thank you for being here. Hi, Carly is red. Have a great vacation. Who got your heart racing? Well, we're going to hold off to that because we still need to rewind and talk about yesterday's episode. So it was right when Kat left. And Joel is crying. Were you surprised by Joel being emotionally moved when Kat decided to stay with Jared or leave with
was
Jared?
that or was it about Bella?
Would it have been about Bella if he was at a?
I hope it wasn't about Bella.
I mean, my first thought was that he thought it was beautiful that Kat was staying or leaving with Jared.
Listen, I cried myself, so I don't blame
Okay,
you.
fine. Okay. Surprisingly, I did not cry. I do not know why I didn't, but I didn't. So Shantae and Bella were my rocks. Who said that?
Phoebe.
Your rocks. So I'm surprised that you didn't try to go for Jared, considering these are your rocks, because it seems like your rocks are, or how you were directed on who to go and pursue. Um, so when you know what, it might have been for Bella, because when Bella was leaving and she was saying goodbye to Joel, he does pick her up when he's giving her a hug. So it was a little bit of an extra oomph in the hug. So maybe he's like, I am interested in her, haven't been here long enough to leave with her, but maybe I'll give her a nice little hug so she'll know that, hey, we'll see what happens after. So Zeta, poor Zeta, she's like, her heart is hurting. And who was talking and says, I've been waiting for this feeling. I've been waiting for this feeling. I didn't write
Maybe
down.
Courtney?
Somebody like feeling about really good about the relationship.
I don't think it would be Sydney.
Maybe it was Courtney. Not sure. Why didn't I write that down though? I put the dash. I didn't write it down. So Chaz is my dude. And he made a name for himself. Who said that? I do know.
Uh, was that Jeff?
Timmy.
Oh, it was
I was
Tim.
surprised, but I mean, I guess it's a younger brother kind of
Yeah,
vibes,
I think
and
so.
like because I'm just like, Timmy, come on, you got to know that Chaz kind of sucks, but Timmy's a good guy, so Oh, Joel here. This analytical Virgo, born Joel. Hi, analytical Joel. I'm curious to hear what y'all think of Mackenzie. She is a flop so far as a bombshell. Oh, okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Um, so wait, first boyfriend ever, first girlfriend ever. So that was really interesting with the outtakes with Jared and Kat. So they both have never been in a relationship. How can you go in as a bombshell and never had a boyfriend? Or like, is it only situationships? Like what's I want to understand that a little bit better. Because
I mean,
like
they're 21 and 23 though.
no, I know. That's what I'm saying though. Like casting people that have never really
Oh,
been in relationships
yeah, I don't
or
know.
like something.
I,
It
I,
just
this casting 21-year-olds, it's not working.
So Chad pulls Courtney to go and talk, and he always is kind of cuddling with her, but I don't find that it looks like they are actually comfortable. It seems like they're trying to pretend like they're really close and comfy and like I can just like cuddle up and talk to you, but it looks forced to me. Did you pick up on that?
No.
But this dumping really spooked Courtney. So she's so tired of being in the bottom. And then she started talking about how she thinks that her and Chad are on different pages. And he hasn't kissed. And she asked if he's kissed Phoebe, and he hasn't kissed Phoebe yet. But like, why doesn't Phoebe? I'm not sorry, Phoebe. Sorry, Courtney realize that the reason why they're in the bottom is because she keeps on bouncing around from guy to guy. She would have been fine, I think, if she stuck with Bryce. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Bryce had.
Or even Felipe.
I mean, I personally don't mind her and Chad. The problem is, come to find out, they had sex. I think the problem is that she is, because they had sex, she's rushing the relationship. And her and Chad have been literally coupled up for a week. I see the chemistry personally, but I just think that she's trying to rush with, like, exclusivity after a week. That's a lot to ask.
But it's all I agree with you. I do think it is a lot to ask, especially in the parameters of this show.
Yeah.
But I think he has to understand that with taking things to the next level, that it's never going to feel good for the woman, especially usually, that hey, like we just slept together, now I'm going to go and crack on with somebody else.
Right.
So I think that's where, because like if you were in the real world and you started sleeping with someone, you can say like, hey, you're the only person that I'm sleeping with. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so that's kind of what I think she's trying to do here, because like they've taken their relationship to just a different level that she doesn't want to be, sharing him with somebody in that way.
Yeah. I just think that they shouldn't have had sex. I'm not trying to shame them. I just think that for them, it seems to have clouded their relationship, because it's like they're jumping to a place that neither one of them are obviously ready for.
Well, I think to me, I think I'm blaming Chad a little bit more about this,
Mm.
because like he makes it seem like she's coming out of nowhere wanting to feel exclusive, and it's kind of like just because she's just like, hey, like we slept together, can I have a little bit more of a commitment from you, because I don't want to be going back and forth.
Mhm.
And him just kind of like not really understanding where she's coming from. I think that he kind of made it a little bit worse, because she just wants a little bit of assurance that he's into her.
I'm going to disagree slightly, because I feel like he's giving her what she's asked for. Remember, she wanted to be more physical, but she never said she wants to be more physical and be exclusive
Sure.
with that physicality. So she's literally jumped from Felipe to Bryce. Now she's saying, now she's gotten what she supposedly was missing from Bryce in Chad, and she's still not happy. And so I just, to me, the common denominator is
It's
Courtney.
Courtney. I mean, I think that Courtney isn't good at relationships, or we've talked about it from the beginning, just even with her physical appearance,
Yeah.
making all those changes. I think that there's something going on in the inside, and I do feel as though she feels validated and valued and loved and cared about and worthy when she's having sexual relationships with people, or with guys like wanting her and being really into her. And I think it really validates her. And so I think that the fact that it wasn't fully validating her, I think that that's why she kind of panicked a bit. Hi, Danita. So Danita says, I agree. I feel like they brought her in. Oh, it's for Mackenzie. I totally missed that they had sex. Was it said on the girls' date thing? Well, I heard we'll get to it. We'll get to the date thing. So we see Sydney and Isaiah talking. We hear Ian saying that he got 6 pies to the face. He took it like a champ, though, Isaiah. They go into the treehouse to have a little bit of a chat. And Sydney says that she wants to bury the hatchet, but you still need to prove yourself to me. And they kissed. And I got to say, the kiss looked good. You didn't think it looked good? I thought it looked good. Better than Phoebe's kissing him, and like
I don't know. I just right now just like, all right, slowly get yourselves back together.
And I mean, I didn't expect them not to get them back together. Like I'm fine with it. Because if I think about like what really happened is like when he shared a bed with Phoebe and kissed her a couple times. I think that in the grand scheme of things, that Johnny was way worse.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will say, yes, Isaiah screwed up in that again, 70-30. I'm never gonna let him live that down.
Fair, he shouldn't.
But he should not have, not for 30%. That being said, I don't think like he wasn't coming in the villa being disrespectful. He wasn't nasty, but it's also how Sydney moved, I think, helped.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I I think he did good job. We know they're toxic. I just need them to like right the ship, and then I will be able to be like, oh, okay, they're so cute. I'm not there yet.
They'll be. I mean, they're going to be together for. I think that they'll last a little bit outside of the show.
I said they're going to be there for the duration.
Definitely for the rest of the season. There's no budging them, I don't think.
Yeah.
So we see Phoebe talking to Chad. She feels a vibe with Chad, and he can't deny that there's a vibe. Is there though? What's this vibe? I want to know what this vibe is because I don't see it necessarily.
I don't know. Mean, Phoebe thinks everybody got a vibe with her. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I don't either. And
I'm wondering, Chaz had said that Phoebe was his best friend in the villa. And then I'm wondering if she came in and she is like making these friendships with these guys because she says she's a girl's girl. I don't think she's a girl's girl. She makes these friendships with these guys, and maybe they think that that's leading somewhere. I don't know who's mixing the signals because the chemistry she keeps saying she's seeing or feeling, I'm not seeing.
Me neither. Did you notice the Muzak version of I Want It That Way? I thought it was funny because like sometimes I'm like I notice some of the songs that they are covering and like it makes me laugh, but
no,
little Backstreet Boys.
I don't think I remember. No, I love Backstreet Boys. I don't think I remember hearing it. So
it played. Getting ready for bed. I think it was. I don't know actually when it was, but Jeff says to Nadja, "Come here, boo." When did they get so booed up? Like
since he's decided that she's the one. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm confused, but People seem to like them. They got saved by
I mean,
America. So.
I understand they're saving Jeff for sure, and Jeff's happy. They're happy.
People, no, I'm telling you, people think that they're cute. I will say, them in the heart rate challenge, very hot.
Yeah, they're cute. I mean, I'm fine with them.
I'm not. I don't think she's into him at all.
I think that she's faking it a little bit, but
Yeah,
I think
I
because
personally
like,
think she's
why does she
faking
need to
it.
keep on saying like I like him so much? Oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm like really liking him so
it's
much.
giving
Like
trying to convince yourself.
exactly, and everybody else, and everybody else. Um, so Courtney and Chad have another conversation, and this is in bed, and it was subtitled, and Courtney's asking if he wants to continue with her, and he's like, I want to continue with her. With you, and she's like, I don't like it at all, and so she's starting to obviously feel insecure because she took it. See, she's such a mess with how she handles things, because you can't be acting like you don't care, and like that it's all physical if you want the emotional.
That's what I was saying. That's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm not trying to slut shame her at all. Like, you want to sleep together. But you have to understand, when you pick a point in time, a moment, and you're saying that is what you're craving, that means you might be losing something else because you did not build the foundation to have that. And that's the only thing I'm saying about it. If she
Mm-hmm.
wanted the emotional, she should have held off, because I feel like he could potentially give her the emotional, but
She cut it short by jumping into fast tracking. So
and then
she's fast
creating
tracked into
ultimatums. Yeah.
we're in an emotionally connected relationship, because that generally happens to women first,
Right.
and he hasn't caught up yet.
Right. And for her, sex might be emotional connection for her. But usually that's not how men work.
They
And
don't care.
also, if you don't know how to build true emotional connections without sex, Houston, we might have a problem.
Definitely. Definitely there's gonna be a problem. But like, how is she not able to get emotional connection with these cancers? Like, come on. She's a cancer. Like, he's ready to be emotionally connected, but I see what you're saying though, for sure, that what she presented was probably a little bit different than what she's asking for right now.
Right. Yeah.
So in the morning, we see Chad and Timmy talk, and Timmy always I don't know if I like calling it an ultimatum, but just like make a decision. I think is I think it's fine to be like, hey, like I don't want to do this. Like if you want to keep on going back and forth, I'm not into it. And
I
I think
agree.
mm-hmm.
I agree. Like, that's what you should be saying. Like, it's ridiculous to go to. I don't know why they're doing that. It's, get on the same page.
Yes, exactly. And so with Timmy being like, oh, she gave you an ultimatum, like, oh, that's not a good sign. It's kind of like, well, she's just gonna like, listen, we've slept together
Yeah.
and you still want to get to know other women. If that's what you want to
Mhm.
do, then
Mhm.
I'm not interested in being around for this. And I think she's allowed to say that. But what do you
I
think?
agree. I
Yeah.
do agree that. I do agree that she has the right to say that. And I don't think he was disagreeing that she had no rights to an ultimatum. He just wanted to be clear if that's what she was doing. And I think we get later that, yes, that's what she was doing.
Well, she says so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Courtney's asking Phoebe in the makeup room, like, how was your chat with your conversation with Chad? And I'm like, Phoebe's really I mean, Courtney's really a glutton for punishment, because like she does not want to hear this. And Phoebe never minces words. She's always just like, oh, it was really great. Blah, blah, blah. And like, she just goes on and on about like how good her conversation was with them, and that she feels like there's a vibe and all this stuff. And I'm like, why are you being so transparent with Courtney? It's so rude.
I don't know.
No
She's not.
consideration.
Girl is not cool. I don't know what to tell you.
Danita says Phoebe feels a vibe with everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point.
So Jessica agrees. I've noticed in the past few episodes that Nadja's always saying, "I really like Jeff" for no reason. She's trying to convince herself and also the girls so they can relay it to Jeff. Uh-huh. And the audience.
And the other.
I don't get the issue with an ultimatum. Ultimatum just has a negative connotation. You could call it what you want. You can call it an ultimatum, but I call it setting boundaries or a standard. Absolutely. I mean, like it's different when it's like, hey, like not different, but I can understand how it's got a negative connotation when it's like, hey, either you marry me or we break up. That's a little bit different. But to say like, hey, like I don't want to be second best. I want to be exclusive. And if you don't want that, then I'm going to move on. I think I agree with you, Jessica. I do think it could be setting boundaries here. And I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing either. I think it's the problem is of the show that we're on where this all supposed to be like so open and freely like exploring everybody. And it's like the women are nobody's supposed to do that.
Right. I don't think there are healthy boundaries that you can set. There's also unhealthy ultimatums. I've heard very many that I was like, oh no, break up with that person. And guy or girl. Mm-hmm. Like if it's unhealthy, then you really
like because it could definitely be turned into gaslighting and ultimatum for sure.
And no self-reflection on their part for the things that they're doing, or they're like literally doing unhealthy things that is never going to make your relationship plausible at that point. So I mean, I understand. Yes, absolutely. Ultimatums can be. I mean, they created an entire TV reality show about it, and people are thriving from it because it literally sometimes it needs to be said. But like you said, Jessica, it's not that it's a bad thing. It just if it's a boundary that needs to be there, absolutely do it. Call it boundary, call it ultimatum. Sometimes that's what you have to do.
So Danita wonders if Nadja's just playing a game because Jeff could take her to the end. Yeah.
Yes.
I do believe that. They're cuter together now that she's kind of being open to it, but I don't think she's actually, if she had her choice, I don't think it would be with him.
Hey, listen, I don't even know if he's into her, but I think
that's true. He could be faking it as well. Hard.
Yeah, if he is into her, it's more him into her than her, in my opinion. We see video of him telling Chaz that he can't wait to see his sister outside the villa. So I don't know.
Who knows? So this is where we see Chad and Courtney having the next conversation, and I think they're in the treehouse, and he's like, "Did you give me an ultimatum?" And she's like, "Yeah." And what she's saying is, you know what's in front of you, or not, like. And I kind of understand that too. It's kind of like where Sydney was as well. It's been like, you know, like I'm here. You don't, if you like, you want to go and mess around with other people, fine. But like, I might not be here. And same with even Zita and Timmy. Like, you know, he didn't say this to her, but he did say like, well, if she's going to choose Jeff, like might not be here when I get back. So like, it kind of, the ultimatum thing kind of comes into play all the time when it's like, do you want to choose me or not?
Right.
And it also allows them to move on if you're on the same page, then like, hey, like if you don't see me as valuable as somebody that you'd want to be exclusive to, that's totally fine. And that hurts, but like, I want you to be happy. So you go do your own thing and allow me to go and do my own thing as well. So I wish that he would just like say something, right?
Yeah, I think somebody said today that he reminds them a bit of Caleb from season 2. And now I kind of can't unsee it. Like it's very, you know how Caleb was very, okay. And okay, I see. Like no act, like there wasn't a lot of verbiage coming out sometimes. He was just sitting there and allowing things to happen. And so you could sometimes, even Justine used to say, she's like, I can't like tell where he's at. And so I can absolutely see that. That being said, they've only been together for about a week. There's only about a week left to go. I don't know. That is the show. I think it's the timing. It's the timing.
So she walks away, and we later hear that his version of walking away is that she stormed off. Did you think she stormed off?
No, I don't feel like she stormed off.
Yeah, I think she walked away just to because she was going to cry.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think it was a storming off. No.
I felt sad for her because I think we've talked a lot about her her emotional well-being, and that it seems like she puts a lot on how she attractive she is to other people, and that's kind of where she's placing her values. And so I'm sure that part of this, her not feeling as though he wants her the most, is attacking at her self-esteem and her worthiness.
Yes,
So I feel bad for her because
I do.
she hasn't learned how to kind of love herself from the inside out, to be honest.
Yeah,
And it's just unfortunate because she's going to keep on getting hurt a lot if she doesn't like see somebody about it and learn how to actually truly love herself.
I agree. I agree.
So she goes up to the vanity room. When she leaves, she says, I think in her ITM, that it just doesn't feel right anymore. And she goes to the vanity room and she's crying, and then Zeta joins, and then also Deb and Sydney join, and it was kind of a sweet moment. Them just like
Yeah.
kind of hugging the OG girls. Um,
I do want to say I like um Courtney. I do feel like this is crazy that this is the storyline we're getting for her, but I also think it's a little bit close to truth. Like her insecurities is an issue and it's starting to seep into everything that she's doing.
well, we kind of called that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
The fact that having so many surgeries is masking something else, generally speaking. It's not just like a little boob job here and a little, ears pinned back there, but like just having a full overhaul is not going to change the inside. And so,
Mhm.
unfortunately, I don't know if this is the best place for her to find her worth.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe it'll allow her to want to pursue that when she gets off the show. So hopefully it shines a light on where she needs to heal.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do like Courtney. I hope that she gets the help that she needs to see how beautiful she is on the inside and out because I do feel like that. But she definitely she has some really serious insecurities.
Yeah, she's very really sad, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Just seeing how much she's changed, because I thought she was beautiful before to now, that there's a sadness, you know what I mean, with like choosing to do that many surgeries. It's just
It's a lot.
a little bit of a sadness behind her eyes.
Yeah.
And oh, I feel so bad. So Jeff says, Jessica said, I think it's too soon for Courtney to want exclusivity, but I understand her perspective. She had plenty of time in the villa with other guys to know that Chad is who she wants. Chad hasn't had that. That's very true too, that she's able to be like, this is it. And Chad hasn't necessarily caught up yet. Oh, Carly says that is true, but hopefully with more life experiences, she can heal. She's going to have to speak to somebody. I don't think she can heal on her own. I think it would get worse. Tamika, Danita agrees with you. Tamika, Courtney still got some self work she needs to do, and maybe watching the show back will help her see that. I think so.
Or a lot of these islanders they come off and they don't watch the show. I know Cash hasn't watched the show in full. Justine and Sally had to watch the show together. I hope that if her family watch the show, they have a real conversation with her on things she needs to do with.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think that people will come to help her, because I'm sure she'll get a lot of people maybe sliding in, being like, "Hey, like you should come and talk to me." You know what I mean? I think she'll have a lot of people reaching out with help for her. So hopefully this will end up being a really good thing in the end, and
Yeah,
not something that knocks down her self-esteem even more.
I agree.
So she does say, she's like, maybe I'll just let Phoebe have him. And I think that she doesn't want to fight for Chad because she doesn't want to lose, because that would be even more devastating than her feeling like she's in the control position and being
Yeah.
like, I'm done with this, like I'm moving on. And so she's starting to feel that way. And Chad is actually getting annoyed with her. And I'm like, if he was a little bit older, he would actually have a little bit of compassion for her, because I feel like it's quite clear what she's going through. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think he quite understands it, because I really do feel like in his head he's like, but I like her, like I really do like her. I think we have a great connection. I have this other connection that, according to the show, I'm allowed to explore. We've only been coupled up for this amount of time. He's not understanding that for her, whatever they did created this emotional bond that he has to start sticking to.
Or just like acknowledging, at least.
Right.
Like, you kind of gotta realize, I mean, if he's young still, so he might not realize that, like, if you sleep with a girl, she's gonna be hooked on you, most likely.
Yeah.
Like 95% of the time, she's gonna be more emotionally connected to you than you are back to her. So Phoebe gets a text. It's going to be a group bonding session where they're going to go hiking. The girls are kind of chatting and having confessionals while they're out hiking. And then the boys get a text. They're going to be having a barbecue with some beer. And then we see that Mackenzie is back. Watch out, ladies. I'm coming for your men. Now, obviously, I think that Mackenzie is a beautiful girl, and I think the bangs, to me, make her look like a Playboy playmate. I think she looks really cute, but I don't know if she's that much of a bombshell. I'm going to agree with Jessica here. I think she might be slightly a flop. What do you think?
I said that if I was going to choose a bombshell to come in, it would not have been her. And so I mean, I've been saying it. I don't think that she was the correct person to bring in there. No. And she's beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
It's not about her beauty. And she's apparently the sweetest person. Anybody that's ever met her, talked about her, has always said that. To me,
yeah, I mean, she walked in wearing like red lingerie with
she looked gorgeous.
Looked really good, and the guys seemed to be like pretty wowed by her.
Especially Jesse.
Yes, Jesse definitely has a type, and I think his type is blonde. And when a sexy blonde comes walking in wearing red, he's definitely was animated, most animated we've seen him since, I think, this season.
I've only seen him more as much animated before this was when he kissed Serenity on the bike.
Oh, you might be right. You might be right. So they recognize her from season 2. Obviously, they're making hot dogs and hamburgers, and so Timmy asks, like, "Are you a hot dog or a hamburger girl?" And she's like, "Hot dog." A hot dog girl. But she wants to talk to everybody because they're asking her, like, what's your type? And like, I want to get to know everybody. I want to talk to everybody, which is the right thing to do. But also, I don't know, so late in the game, like, I kind of think that you need to like come in and like put your stake in. But I don't know. I don't think I'd ever be a bombshell. I think I'd be an OG if I was being selected for one of the two things. I don't know. Would you be a bombshell or OG?
I'm too short to be a bombshell.
Oh, really? You think that there's a height requirement for bombshells?
Probably. I'm walking into the villa, I'd look like short and stubby.
You gotta wear some high heels.
Oh, I don't wear heels.
I love heels. I love heels. So Mackenzie chats with Timmy, and I guess she realized that Timmy is pretty much off limits, and so she's getting the lowdown of relationships and who's available, and she wants to know if Jeff is still open. He does say that he's closed, Jesse's closed, and Isaiah, they're all out of contention. But she's interested in Jeff, and probably because she's watching and seeing that Jeff is popular, and so she's like, okay, maybe Jeff. And she probably realizes that not actually into him. I probably could maybe wiggle in here.
Yeah.
I think that would have been, if she tried a little bit harder, I think that they might have, she might be too skinny for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if Jeff likes straight white women, like
Right. Like the
white
Latina,
presenting.
he's kind of like likes
He,
that
yeah,
flavor a little
he
bit.
likes black presenting, Hispanic presenting, Asian presenting.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
I don't know, and also body type wise.
Body type wise, yeah, you're right.
No.
Even though, like, I don't know if it's the lighting or whatever, but like her boobs and Courtney's boobs have been looking ginormous lately.
Um, I mean, I don't know if did Mackenzie get her boobs redone?
Maybe they got redone. Actually, some people are saying that she might have gotten a nose job. I couldn't tell.
I can't tell. Her face looks a little fuller. I can't tell. I can't. Something's different, but she's also 3 years older.
And she has bangs, so that could also be making her look a little bit different. But Danita, I agree with you. I do feel like they brought her in way too late. I'm not sure why they waited for her to come in near the end like this. Like even Adam from UK came in like a week earlier than this.
Did he?
Maybe, or maybe it was the same time, but there's 2 weeks like longer.
Yes, that's what it is. It was the same time, but they're 2 weeks longer than us.
It's just kind of like, what is she supposed to do with like there's 3 strong couples, a fourth one that they think is strong, and then a couple of singletons. I mean, we're gonna figure it out episode 28 because they're gonna dump one of them.
Yeah.
So the girls are chatting with the hike, and so yes, this is where I noticed. So Tamika, where did you hear that they had sex?
Someone pointed out to me that she said it during the conversation with the girls after the hike.
So what I noticed on the hike, it wasn't flat out like, "Hey, yeah, we had sex." But when they were doing that whole game where it's like, "Okay, point your finger at who you think did this or did that." And so one of the questions was who's like been getting it on under the sheets or something like that. And Courtney said something to the effect of, yeah, like I'm sneaky, I'm really sneaky, like. And so that to me implied that she's been fooling around, but nobody could really tell, and that kind of Sydney was the only person that was like maybe going all the way, but it seems like Courtney has as well. So I didn't, it's not explicit, but like it was much implied from my perspective. And it would also make a lot of sense that why she's feeling a little more connected and wanting him to be exclusive.
Right.
Um so I think this is Courtney that says this. I'm used to men who know what they want. And I don't actually think that that's true. I don't think that she's used to men that know what they want.
No.
Because I just don't believe her just at this point.
I mean, unless she's used to older men,
That's okay.
and so they're kind of already settled, but I still think they use her.
Like as in like a trophy.
Yeah. But that's not knowing what you want at all.
Yeah. Oh. So Jeff and Mackenzie have a conversation, and Jeff's like, "Oh yeah, I'm funny as fuck," and Mackenzie says that he's definitely at the top of her list. And Jeff says, "Yeah, you can pull me for a chat." So he's kind of leaving the door open a little bit, but we know that he's all in on Nadja. So most frisky, yeah. So that the question that was picking who had sex last in the villa and who's the most frisky, I think it was the most frisky was the question that Courtney responded to. So Joel has a conversation with Mackenzie, and Mackenzie is like, "Oh, now you have another singleton to hang out with, and you are in my top 3. And I'm a hopeless romantic." And these are all things that are true about Mackenzie. I just don't know if she's the bombshell that can like go and get these guys, you know? Like she's nice, she's pretty, she's just like, just doesn't have bombshell for me. So now you get the, pardon?
Cher. Like,
Cher? What do you
mean? Can you imagine if Cher had walked into the villa?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she doesn't have that same kind of appeal.
And
she
it's
has
not
like
about sex, like just presence.
yeah, and I think it also is because like what Mackenzie kind of goes by is like, oh, like I love going to like a ball game and like eating hot dogs and having beers and just like hanging out with my dad and like so she's a guy's girl in that kind of sense, and I'm not sure if that is the vibe for this particular villa to be a bombshell. So Nadja gets a text, and we see that it's Mackenzie and the girls in a kind of gimmicky moment. They grab all their picnic baskets and they run back to the villa. Whilst Mackenzie and Chad are also talking about meditation and if he's open, and he said that he is open. And she's just thinks that did I just make a love square, and which it kind of would be a love square a lot bit. Because what it's like Chad, Phoebe, Mackenzie, Courtney. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I mean, I like you, Chad, but like not that much. So the girls are back. Courtney and Chad have another little talk right away, and she feels like she's given him room. But in her confessional, she's like, I'm over shapes. I want a straight line. And so that is kind of in agreement with, I can't remember who said that in the comments, like she's gone through different partners and different relationships, and he's not there yet. He hasn't had the chance to explore yet. So it is a little bit unfair for her to expect that he's explored enough to know that she's the one for him.
Yeah.
So that was the end of episode 27. Now on to episode 28. Zita's talking to Mackenzie, or well, the whole group's together, and she's like, which boys do you have your eye on? And before she could even answer, which I wish she could just answer that, I got a text. It's going to be the heart race challenge. Deb was entertaining this episode. The fact that she can't dance and she's been terrified of this challenge this whole like since she's been in the villa. I think that that's pretty funny. So let's talk about these ladies. So Zita comes in as a sexy nurse. I thought she was fire. She was hot.
Amazing. She was hot in her dance. She was probably my second favorite.
Second favorite?
Yeah.
Out of the women. Okay, who's the first favorite would it be? Let me see. No, she would be my favorite. So who's your favorite then?
Courtney was my favorite.
Really? Or I mean, she's okay. And she looked good, but she wasn't my favorite. So Deb was second. She was a cowgirl. I was laughing the whole time when Deb was dancing. And the guys were just like, oh, she's so funny. She's entertaining. And she was entertaining and she looked good. And I think that the fact that she doesn't take herself too seriously is quite attractive. Mackenzie was a sexy cheerleader. And again, she really reminded me of a Playboy playmate in like it's a good way. She looks really pretty, like really sexy. And the guys
too bad to be honest. I thought she was going to be worse than that. Deb for me was the worst.
Yeah, Deb wasn't really trying to be the best though. She was trying to be silly. Courtney. So Courtney was a cave woman. So you liked Courtney the best. I felt that she was just kind of like riding every guy. And I don't know if to me, she just there wasn't as much variety. Like I felt with Zita, she would like be backwards and forward and kiss an ear. And I do like that she put a lot of focus on Timmy, which just to make him know that she's not trying to disrespect him. So I don't know. I liked hers better. But why'd you like Courtney's better?
I just thought her entire dance flowed really well. She looked good doing it. I liked hers the best.
So Nadja comes out as the devil, and Jeff's, oh, that's my baby. That's my baby. And I'm just like, you guys are laying it on too thick for me.
Yeah. It's so funny because when he and her were going at it, it looked good. But when she and him, it wasn't as good, which is weird.
When she on top of him?
Yeah.
Well, because she's not into him.
Yeah, it was weird.
Carly's Red agrees. I like Mackenzie, but I agree she's not the one to break these guys up. Yeah, exactly. Gina says they need to bring in a past Islander who's known to shake things up. Mackenzie didn't shake things too much on season 2, aside from recoupling at Casa, but she just cried the whole time about Connor. So yeah, she definitely wasn't a heartbreaker. It should have been Mercedes or somebody. Oh yeah, exactly. Hi RC. So you know who would have been a good bombshell? Mercedes. That was with Johnny and Casamore. Yeah, I was saying that at the same time as I was about to read yours. Mercedes, she comes in and she knows how to use her womanliness to like get guys. So I think she would have been a good bombshell. I kind of want to see Mackenzie and Jesse talk a bit since I don't see it with him and Deb, but Timmy shut that door. And I don't know if Jesse would have wanted to. What do you think? Do you think Jesse would have wanted to pursue things with Mackenzie, or do you think he's just trying to ride it to the end?
At this point, I think he's riding it to the end. But he was very interested.
Well, in the beginning, but like when it push comes to shove, though.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's trying to mess up with Deb again. He almost went home. Then she chose somebody else. I don't think he wants to mess up that, unless he knew for sure that him and Mackenzie were like getting married outside.
Exactly. Yeah. So Carly's been thinks that maybe Mackenzie got her lips dissolved a bit. Maybe like there is something different.
Yes. Her lips aren't as
maybe they were like way bigger before. Because I remember when she wasn't wearing makeup, it was always her lips were always very prominent.
Yeah.
You were right.
That might be it. That might be it.
Jessica says, yes, Tamika, if Cher came in, I think Jeff would have been way more open to switch up on Naja. Mm-hmm.
Telling you.
Haha, Tamika, I see you catching this BB competition. I don't know what's I'm not watching it.
I'm trying so hard not to say anything right now. I really am.
Hi, Miss St. Pete. I'm in the dark. Dania says, I think that Jeff would have turned for Flo too. Yes, Flo. Ooh, Flo was so sexy. I think that she definitely could have had the swagger for Jeff as well. I see that too. Go Zeta. I like Courtney second. Yeah, I think I like Courtney second. Or maybe Mackenzie, just because I thought that she looked really good. They might have been tied for me. Hi, Kanisha. So Courtney's performance was meh, but her face was frozen in the same expression the entire time. It barely moved. Oh, no. I mean, maybe that's what it was. Like, I didn't find that I just felt that she was just kind of like grinding.
At her face.
So
that's it.
Oh, okay. Mackenzie does get credit for doing the heart rate challenge on her second day in. Rough. It was definitely pretty quick, you know? Charlene said, did you notice Timmy told the guys to watch their heart rate when Zeta came out? Yes, I did notice that. I'm so happy, though, that she was so sexy. Because, like, you know, they call her the mom of the villa and stuff like that. Like, her coming out first and setting the tone. I also found the women cheering up top, mostly led by Zeta, was like really great. I think that they were being really encouraging. And I felt that this was, I think, the best heart rate challenge that we've seen, because I felt that everybody was just so encouraging, and like I was enjoying it a lot, like on a whole.
I think the girls were really strong this year. I would not say it was the best. The boys were okay.
What did you want to see? What's his name? What was the guy that was with that got some grooves and he does dances with Justine from their season that was with Cher? Calvin. You want to see Calvin as Woody again? And so Courtney was my fave too. Love Zeta too, but it seemed to be the shortest dance. Well,
maybe that's what it was, because
they cut her short.
I felt like Blinken was gone. She was really good, but for me, it wasn't like it. I feel like something was missing. So, and it wasn't Zeta. It was just something was missing for the flow of the dance.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying the same thing. It was the actual flow of it. So I think that might be what it was for me.
Yeah, we didn't see her go to every single guy and do a whole thing. It was definitely shorter. Yeah, why did they show some moves Zeta did on Twitter but not on the show? Because the show is trying to do them dirty.
Yeah.
Right. How did the boys end up winning the challenge? Robbed.
Yeah. I don't know.
I guess they just like made more girls that weren't their partner's heart rate go. So Sydney was a cat. She was okay. I mean, I think she's a pretty girl. So Isaiah seemed to really like her.
She was okay.
And Phoebe as an angel. How do you think Phoebe did?
Oh, you mean Sydney? Oh, you said Phoebe.
I said 50, and then I said Sydney after, but
Oh, okay.
Sydney
Yes.
cat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was still literally picturing Phoebe. In my Sydney. I liked as well. She was probably my third favorite. Phoebe was okay.
Yeah, but the guys were just like Chad's so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that was about because I was like, but she's just okay. Maybe I missed something.
Yeah, maybe I missed something. I mean, she has like a hot body, so maybe that's it. Like, they're
I
all
mean,
wearing thongs.
she did like she was an angel, right? So she did like take off her wings, and so maybe there was because she didn't have it on when she was dancing on them. So maybe she did something that like
wow.
Yeah.
Or like, did she do the splits in the beginning? I couldn't understand what happened there.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell. So the boys, I was really uncomfortable watching. I was screaming the whole time. I just can't. I'm not great at seeing men strip. Like I get really uncomfortable. So Jesse comes out as a sailor. What'd you think?
I mean, he wasn't terrible.
I was just like, I was screaming the whole time, and how he was just like pulling Deb over, and Deb just be like, ah. Chad is a pirate. It was funny. Did you enjoy Chad as much as Kanisha did? No. I laughed as well, Kanisha. He was funny because he's not the sexy type for this type of heart. He has to go for funny.
Like I said, the boys were okay.
Yeah.
The one that had me laughing was Timmy, to be honest.
Hold on, Charlie's Red saying, did you guys see the edit mistake in the first bedroom scene? Chad asked Courtney if she hated him, and she responded, and then like 2 clips later, they used it again. Awkward. I did hear it 2 times. I thought it was just the same clip. One time we're seeing it as like a playback, like a preview, and the other time was one's a playback, one's a preview, or vice versa. So I noticed it, but I didn't notice it as being something that was out of the ordinary.
Right.
Isaiah was a pilot. He's doing his magic mic moves. Were you into Isaiah? No. What about Jeff as the fireman?
That entire sequence was hot.
Yeah, I heard it was a fire.
Like
he looked good.
Especially him and Naja was very hot.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked good as a fireman with his shirt off, and yeah, he looks good. Joel, I guess he was either a Greek or a Roman god. Dancing in those sandals, like it was just not good. Doing like, I don't know, break dancing kind of moves. I'm not sure what was happening there. He does kiss Phoebe. But I think they did him a little bit dirty with that outfit. It's not sexy. How was Timmy as a lumberjack?
I was dying laughing. I said, not the Tims. For real? Not the Tims. And then his dance, his little spin that he did, like to walk. I was dying.
Yeah, I agree, Charlene. Timmy was very respectful to Zeta. Love that. Yeah, I mean, I think that he definitely, I was like, at one point I was like, oh, okay. Like he definitely was giving her all the attention at one point. But when he come out at the beginning, like, I was laughing so hard. Timmy. So for the heart rates, so Jesse's heart rate was raised by Sydney. Isaiah's was raised also by Sydney, of course. Chad had his heart rate raised by Phoebe. Jeff had his heart rate raised by Mackenzie. Joel by Courtney, and Timmy by Zeta. Now, why do you think that the announcer read out when it was like a couple, And then they let the Islanders read out the ones that weren't the couple. Like, what was the point of that?
I don't know. It was weird.
It was just so disjointed. Like, why can't they just read the damn
Maybe
whole thing?
maybe there was a mess up somewhere. Maybe like that one of them made a mistake, and so
Oh,
they just had Ian do it properly. That's the only thing
or
I can think of.
maybe it was a lie, and like that's not who.
That's
I don't
also
know.
that's also fair.
Hmm. And so for the girls, Zeta's heart rate was raised most by Timmy, Deb by Jesse, Sydney by Isaiah. Phoebe's heart rate was raised most by Timmy. And I was just thinking
Yeah,
in my head, keep your damn paws off of him,
that was
Phoebe.
hilarious when they said that I was dying.
Nadja's by Isaiah. Interesting. Especially when Jeff, I thought, was the hottest. And Mackenzie's by Chad. And Courtney was by Joel. So I think that will be actually a little bit helpful that Joel and Courtney both had their heart rate raised for each other.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that in mind with what happens at the end of this episode. So Jeff and Nadja are talking after the challenge because they both didn't have their heart rate raised for each other. And she's probably like, oh my God, I'm going to be found out. And nope, he's just going to lock it down and say, do you know what? If anybody comes and talks to me, if Mackenzie talks to me, I'm going to shut her down. So Nadja wins here. So Zeta and Courtney have a conversation, and she tells Zeta that she would be exclusive with him if he wanted that. That's what she would actually really want here, with Chad, that is. So we see Phoebe and Chad talking, and they talk about, as usual, how attracted they are to each other. Everybody's attracted to Phoebe. Phoebe's attracted to everybody. There's a vibe, et cetera, et cetera. So Jesse and Deb, they were kind of funny because, like, I don't think either their heart rate raised for each other. Oh, wait, no, Deb's for Jesse, but Sydney raised Jesse's heart rate. And she didn't care, which was good. And she's like, oh, I didn't know you had a fetish for redheads, teasing him a little bit. But I wonder. So they're all getting ready for bed. And at this point, I was thinking that Chad is getting ready, annoyed with Courtney. I think that was the second time we saw the whole, like, are you, she said something and she was like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And you know that she wasn't kidding. Like, are you mad at me? And
I thought it was just me. She kept saying it. I said, she is full of shit. She is pissed. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You were not kidding.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you're not kidding.
You're not kidding.
At all. But like, he's not going to read between the lines. You're going to have to spell it out for him, babe. So in the morning, oh, I guess it was in the morning. I didn't write down morning, but the girls are chatting, and Courtney doesn't think that she is her best self with Chad. And Zeta is so pro Courtney, and I appreciate Zeta a lot. She's saying, like, can you imagine fumbling Courtney? Like, he's gonna lose Courtney. Can you imagine doing that? And I agree that she's beautiful, but she actually isn't necessarily the full package when we talk about being emotionally available and open and ready for a committed relationship. So I appreciate her support, but
girls are seeing it.
Yeah, they won't see it because
they're in it, and they are closer to her, and they feel like she deserves the world. And I'm not saying she doesn't deserve the world,
agreed.
but I can watching it on screen. I can clearly see her flaws.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe when they watch it back, they'll be like, oh, I see what was going on here. Charlene, I was thinking the exact same thing. Phoebe better keep her heart to herself. Timmy is off limits. Yeah, please. I don't think she would dare, but I wonder if she thought about it. So Courtney interrupts poor Chad meditating, and I'm just like, oh, Courtney. Like, she's good at, like, kind of creeping in, but then she's like saying, like, oh, I'm not really good at this, and what she wants to say. And he says he doesn't want to be friend zones, but she's like, she wants him to be open to getting to know other people. And what I wrote down there, I'm like, Chad, you just failed that test. Like, the test there was, I would rather keep something with you than pursue a maybe with Phoebe. And you failed the test. So Chad tells Jesse and Jeff about, kind of what he experienced with Courtney, but he wants to be free, and I understand this too, though, because like they've only been together for a little while. That like having these ultimatums and being in these, immediate relationship, like he's too young and like he's on Love Island and he wants to explore a little bit. So I get what he wants to do, but I don't know. Wrong girl. So then I thought it was funny though that Courtney pulled Joel for a chat because Courtney's ready to move on then. Like if Chad doesn't want her, she's going to go try to lock down something else. And so Joel does seem to be more into a place where she wants to be in, something committed, something lasting. And so they do have a decent conversation. Mackenzie and Chad talk again, and she likes his routine. I don't know, you didn't. She likes laughing and people being really goofy. And Courtney, he tells her about his chat with Courtney, and I don't know. Do you see anything with Mackenzie and Chad?
I think she definitely likes him the best.
Okay. She might have wanted like to pursue something with Jeff, but she definitely got shut down there.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, I agree with you. I don't think this is the right show for Courtney. Like maybe a dating show that has like a little bit of a therapy element to it, or like some sort of love coach, relationship coach or something might be helpful, because someone needs to show kind of what her patterns are in this.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica didn't see any chemistry between Joel and Courtney. I feel like she was mimicking and like saying like me too to make it seem as though there was more chemistry, but I don't know if there was any natural chemistry like I see with like Zimmy.
I mean, I see more chemistry between her and Chad. That being said, it seems like Chad has the power in this situation.
Fully. So Danita agrees. Yep, Chad failed. Courtney just wanted him to say, I choose you, and he didn't. She just let her giggle to make it less awkward. Yep, he failed that one. So Joel is chatting with Isaiah, and he's in a triple pickle between Phoebe and Courtney. A bit, for sure. So getting ready for the night, we see Mackenzie. She makes the toast. She says that she's not that great at dancing, but she's better at making toast, which I think she was better at making a toast. And then we get a text. There's going to be a recoupling tonight. The girl that is not coupled up with is going to be dumped from the island. And I'm like, this is so annoying. And Mackenzie even said, it's like, oh my God, I've only been here 24 hours. Is already going to be a dumping?
24 hours. And for her, I know that that's abnormal, because they used to bring those people in the villa for days before they dumped them.
Like,
they got to stop that.
Well, I think that Courtney's going to go. What do you think?
I don't know. Might be her time. I hope it's Phoebe.
Well, Phoebe, though,
I don't think Phoebe has any connection either, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I think that so who do you think Joel's going to pick?
I think if they did it properly, Chad would pick first and Joel would pick last.
And who knowing them, Chad will pick?
They'll put Joel first, and he'll just pick somebody at random, and then Chad will have to pick between two girls and send one girl.
Well, I mean, what's the most interesting? Him choosing between Phoebe and Courtney, I guess.
Yeah.
So, do you think Joel is going to choose Mackenzie?
Exactly. That doesn't make any sense. Joel should pick last. Because to me, it's more interesting to see if Joel picks Mackenzie or Phoebe rather than picking, or even Courtney. Like, I feel like Chad should choose, make his ultimate choice, and not have the pressure of sending somebody home. Choose one of the three girls, right? And then Joel will choose, because to me, Joel doesn't have a strong connection with any of them.
True, but there's maybe one more than the other, but like
Right.
definitely seeing who he decides upon will be interesting.
Yeah.
But this is why I think that Chad, well, if he's smart though, he'll see that Phoebe has bounced around from guy to guy to guy to guy to guy to guy to guy. He may know that Courtney's done that a little bit, but he's witnessed this with Phoebe. So I
But
don't know.
Mackenzie did point that out too, right? Like that, if there's other guys that comes in, I don't know if Phoebe goes and chooses you first, but I would choose you first. So, and I totally believe her. I actually agree with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said her, it was for her, it said it was between Jesse, Joel, and Chad. So her coming in and going after any of those three men, I actually definitely would see it. I said Jeff, if she wants to come get in between him and Naja, I just wasn't sure if he was her type. And I don't think he really is, but if she wanted to get in between the storyline, yes.
Well, and that's another thing that they didn't allow Mackenzie to do. Like usually they have a bombshell come in and she has like 3 dates. Like where were the 3 dates that she gets to have? Even if it's like breakfast or like entree, main and dessert or whatever, you know what I mean? Like she
Right.
didn't do any of that, which I thought was
Right.
also strange.
I mean, but she did the same thing as Adam though. She got to have all the guys in the villa to herself for a few hours. So maybe that kind of plays out. But you're right. Then Adam got to go on, what, 3 dates?
Yeah, I got a date with Paige and Danica and somebody else.
Yeah, and that's the difference between what they were doing and what these people are doing. That makes absolutely no sense to me, because you're not allowing people
to make connections.
Like add an extra week, add an extra 2 weeks, do something, because there's no reason why there should be this many dumpings.
No, this is definitely no need. So Carly is so annoyed with how the season has been managed and edited. The dumpings are always at the worst times, I find. We aren't seeing the connections and the friendships enough in the edit. Absolutely, Carly. Like, this is what we've been complaining about the whole time. Too soon. So Joel says, right this second, with 10,000 people voting on the Love Island app, the poll results are 52% Phoebe. Is this going or staying? 29% Mackenzie and 17% Courtney. Do you know what these polls mean?
I didn't see a poll.
Is it for people who's going to go or who's going to stay?
Or is it somebody picking? Let me see. Who will go home? Maybe who will go home?
Okay, Joel says, yeah, who will go home?
Okay.
Okay, well that's just our opinion though. We don't know.
But that's an opinion. I mean, I just voted for Phoebe because that's who I want. Right. And I mean, it could be Courtney. I would not be shocked. But that's who I want.
Yeah, I'd want Phoebe to go home as well.
And I'm not the guy picking.
Exactly. It's time for Phoebe to go, but if Chad picks Courtney, Joel may go with Phoebe, because I haven't seen much between him and Mackenzie once the girls return from the hike. Oh, that would be brutal if Mackenzie got dropped like that.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible. So that's why I think
I said I would rather Joel pick Mac, please.
Mm-hmm. It's the season of the wrong Islanders sent home too soon. Can't make any predictions here. I know. It'd be awful though if Mackenzie got sent home without even going on a date. Like, it's so stupid. Anyways, that is the last 2 episodes. Were there any other moments that you wanted to chat about before we say goodbye for a week?
No, I mean, I'm excited I got to see the heart rate challenge. Hopefully when I come back, I will see baby challenge and dates, meet the parents, I guess. And so I'll be catching up on, well, no, I might be back late on, I'll probably be catching up on Sunday. But I will watch tomorrow night's episode in my hotel room. So I'll only be literally a week behind because I'll miss Sunday's episode. I think I'm gonna be at sea, and then I'm gonna miss Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yep. So I will miss a good amount of episodes, so I'll catch up and then live watch with me Sunday night because I will make sure I'm all caught up for Sunday night to get right back on the ship.
This ship.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being here, obviously, and commenting on these last two episodes. I know you had to get packing and get on the plane to the boat. So thanks also everybody here in the chat. You guys are amazing. Danita says, enjoy your vacation. Tamika, have a fruity drink for me. Have a fruity drink for me too.
I will, guys. I'll tag y'all on Twitter when I do.
Oh, I love a margarita. Give me a spicy marg. Joel says, you would be cool to produce a Broadway play as a Shakespeare comedy called Love Island Shakespeare Style.
Ooh.
Huh. I could maybe conceptualize something like that. Let me think about it.
My favorite is, what's a good one? Much Ado About Nothing is probably like one of my favorites.
That would be good. What's the funny one? There's one of them thinking that it's just not, it might not come to me. Yes, safe travels. Absolutely. Sean, I hope Phoebe goes and Courtney quits. We have
Midsummer Night's Dream.
I like Midsummer Night's Dream. That's great too.
I love that one too.
I mean, obviously, I love all the tragedies. I love Romeo and Juliet. Like I do, I love all of them.
I do. Listen, Shakespeare's my birthday twin, so I love.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he is.
Wowzers! Yes, have a nice vacation. Have fun. Safe travels. Yes, and please, if you haven't done so already, still give us a little subscribe to Reality Realness as well as Entertainment in Color. We're building this community of people like you that love talking and watching about reality TV. So like this video and let us know who you think is going to be dumped tomorrow. Who do you not think that either Joel or Chad is going to pick tomorrow and in turn will be going home? I will put a poll up. So put it in the comments, but also I'll put a poll up to see what percentage of you guys think what. That's it. Well, we're going to see you in a little over a week. Tamika, be safe. Thank you so much again, everyone, for being here. Now I got to go catch up on Big Brother. Bye, everybody.